What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders, powered today by BetUS, and we are going to be diving into what I think is one of the critical matchups in this game. It's going to be how the Baltimore Ravens, using this more throw hybrid dime system instead of a nickel system that we've seen so far through weeks, how they can use a guy that just had a bit of a breakout game in our DARIUS Washington, paired with obviously the likes of Kyle Hamilton, who will play his usual all over the place role, but obviously one of those roles being in the slot. But taking a look at how our DARIUS Washington can play into this matchup before we dive into it, big thanks to our sponsors, BetUS. As you can see, the lineups for tonight already out there. Cowboys sitting at -6 favorites. They're coming off a tough loss to us, and I think they're going to be coming out hungry, ready to go. The over-under sitting at 45.5. I actually think that's going to be at the under. It's Thursday night football. That's a lot of points to cover. And then as you can see, the Ravens line is already in there, and I'm taking a look at that parlay of putting together Baltimore -1 with the over in this game. I think this is just your typical Sunday night football slobber knocker, but the Ravens are going to be desperate for a win, so throwing that in there. 150 wins 359, so easy money there. And right now you can take advantage of one heck of a promotion. Go use promo code YouTube150 to get 150% sign up bonus on your first deposit, and then 125% on your next two deposits up to a maximum of $2,000. Free money in your pocket. Go do it. They got the best odds. They got the best service, 24/7 support, fastest payouts in the industry. Go check out BetUS. Thank you for sponsoring this video. So to take a look, what I'm preparing for is a guy like Khalil Shakir, who has been kind of the X factor of the Buffalo Bills early in this season. As you can see right here from his yards, 168 yards through 3 games, 2 touchdowns, and the big number here being 54 of those snaps being out of the slot. That's 82% of his snaps. He's also caught 14 of 14, so he figures to be a big piece in this game. And then as we saw last week, our DARIUS Washington finally getting on the field. You can see right here from his snaps, 12 snaps through 2 weeks, barely played, and then he comes out of nowhere last week with a really solid game and putting together 33 snaps. So I want to dive into his game, what he did, and how I think he can be utilized in this game. I want to start. I always think you learn more from your losses than your wins. So this is going to be the last touchdown that the Cowboys scored. So there's our DARIUS Washington. If you guys watched my video the other day, you already have seen this play, but kind of just what I think happened here. Our DARIUS Washington getting a little bit lost in coverage. So as you know, when you're playing slot receiver, you got to be prepared for inside, outside releases. And so our DARIUS is going to start this playing a little bit too square, in my opinion. And he's going to start with that inside leverage, forcing the receiver outside. But then the mistake is he lets Turpin cross his face. So as he's running this route, he's going to bend it out and bend it back up, just like you see right here. And as soon as he gets his face crossed, now he's in chase mode, back to the ball. This is a sign we never want to see. As we know, Dak avoided the safety. The safety rolled to that side of the field, created this play, and Dak just did what he did so well in this game, is when he turned a corner around, he threw it to the opposite shoulder. Right there, he's just going to step in uncontested. So key here is just maintaining those leverage points in this game. I don't think that was something that happened very often. In fact, it's really the only snap I saw. But again, I always want to show you guys the full story, not just the wins, and certainly not just the losses. We want to see a full picture. So let's kind of roll through this one, take a look at some of these snaps from our DARIUS Washington. And Washington's going to start down here, kind of as they're going to have a one high safety here. Washington's going to line up opposite CD in the slot. As the ball comes out, you're going to see him attack and get a PBU against CD Lamb. And this is one of the things that I find he does so well, is attacking the stem of the route. So as CD comes up, he's going to break it off there. And this is a nice rolled route. So we'll just kind of go back quickly here. You're just going to see CD really just round this. Not really, a lot of route running to this one. He's just going to bend the route. Washington sees it and attacks the ball perfectly with that hand coming straight up through. And this is really what he's done so well through his time as a Baltimore Raven, is attacking the ball and just being very, very decisive and instinctual in coverage. So good to see that against such a good player. And obviously the smack talk there. Humphrey actually comes in and pushes him out of the way so that he doesn't get a flag. As we know, Baltimore's been loving getting flags this year. Get into this next rep here. And this is going to be one where Washington starts out as kind of the deep safety here. He's going to be opposite Cooks. Cooks is going to roll out, and you're going to see the pressure. If you guys watch the D-line here, Roquan's going to break through basically unblocked and get that pressure. And this is the one where Cooks got a flag for offensive pass interference. You can see right there, Roquan's coming, got the blitz off the edge coming, and Dak just has to throw it up. But Washington, good backpedal here, and he sees this ball, comes straight out, goes for it. That's a pick, should be a pick. Cooks with a very dangerous play there. Actually didn't like seeing that at all, just because that could lead to an injury real quickly. But, again, working in the open field, he's playing as a safety in this, has that responsibility on Cooks. But just to see that break on the ball, not a very difficult play. Obviously, the pass rush is what did that, but just to see him be able to make a play on the ball. He did it 3 or 4 times in this game where he's making a play directly on the ball, and that's really what we want to see from him. He's going to be in the slot at the top of your screen here. And this was always what I like seeing out of him, that aggressiveness. So really what they're trying to do here is just use a swing pass. And so they're going to swing Rico Dowdle out here. And they're going to be, Ravens are in cover 3 here. So you're going to get your cover 3 defenders coming. That means our DARIUS Washington has that curl coverage here. So he's going to step out into his zone. As he does, he reads it perfectly. They got a little bit of a pick there. Set up as the swing's coming. And he doesn't follow it at all, doesn't get fooled by that coverage, and he just busts on that route. So again, that's coming out, and he's just going to attack it. So even if that's caught, that's going to be an easy tackle right at the line of scrimmage for Washington. So again, seeing different type of coverage, instinctual, very physical, very aggressive. He may be small, but he does not play small, which I think is one of the key things going into this matchup. This is one where this was, again, in my video the other day. So Washington's going to be aligned in the slot here. They're just going to play this off-man coverage. And this is where I think we could see him carry this coverage a little bit better. So they're going to have a 2x2 here where they got 2 defenders on the wide side, 2 defenders on the short side. And as he passes this coverage off, because they're just playing cover 2 here, so he's got that kind of hook zone here in the middle, and then they're just going to bend this inwards underneath the safeties into that little area right here. Williams breaks on it late, but this is where I'd like to see Washington carry this with a little bit more depth. They have the fullback in pass protection below them. There's really no threat in the middle of the field, so as much as I think the safeties need to be a little bit more aggressive here, I'd like to see Washington carry that a little bit further. That set up the Dak Prescott 1-yard touchdown. Washington's going to be aligned in the slot here on this rep. Keep moving. Snap the ball out. And again, this one doesn't target Brandon Cooks, but we're seeing that break on the ball as he reads the route. And that's what he's doing so well. You're going to see as Cooks runs this quick out right there, he just breaks on the ball. And that's something that I think is really going to be what makes a difference in this game. If they're trying to get the ball out quick, get the ball to Shakir, the ball to Kincaid, that sort of thing, this is a role where our DARIUS Washington can make a real difference with that aggressive physical, ability. He's going to be in the low slot here, lined up against CeeDee Lamb again. And this was just a good pass coverage, or a good coverage pass off. So you're going to see they're going to run a little bit of a crosser here where they're going to cross Cooks and CeeDee, trying to get, a coverage mix up, something that's happened a lot. You're going to see Washington Stevens pass this off with no problem. And Dak's looking there. If you guys go back to the start of the rep, so watch at the snap here. He's going to read left because that's where his first read is. Looking to see right there. He's looking left. Sees them cover it. No problem. Looks back to his right. Hits his check down. This is where they miss the tackles. And actually, our DARIUS, after passing that off, they take care of that. No problem. He goes over and makes that tackle after 2 missed tackles from Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton. So good to see that as well. Washington's going to be in the upper slot on this rep, and we're going to see him read that route with ease. Again, very physical at the stem, so you're going to get, I believe that's Turpin here. He's just going to come up and run it in a pretty ugly end. There's a lot of false steps here, and he's just going to cross right across his face and play that physically. So again, we're being very physical at the stem. We're breaking on the ball with ease, that sort of thing, all things we want to see, that instinctual play. And then this was the 2-point conversion. Without this play, this game might have been a lot a lot closer. This was huge because it kept it a 2-possession game. They're just going to run a quick out here with CeeDee Lamb. They basically are going to ask their best player to go out and win a rep, and our DARIUS Washington steps up like no other. So they're going to get the rep starts here. Cooks clears this out. CD runs that quick out. You can see right there, Cook's purposely running this to the right, trying to pull Marlon Humphrey's attention away. And then we got CD breaking here, and Dak rolls out to throw it to him, and he comes directly through the catch point. So again, that's the third play we've seen in just 31 snaps where he's making a play directly on the football, and he just comes perfectly through. And I threw in the other angles so you guys can kind of see it. You don't see it well just because it takes too long for the camera to pan, but you can really see how tight he was in this coverage. Just right there. Let's just kind of play it through, but you can see just how tight that is. So again, go back to the other angle. Just play this through one more time for you guys. My scanning is struggling. So again, we're just going to tack through that bread basket. Just good football play here. But I love the physical ability, not being intimidated at all by the fact that he's playing against CeeDee Lamb in a critical moment. He just plays his instinctual game. So that's really what I think can be a key to success in this game, is what our DARIUS Washington can do, how that can throw a bit of a wrench in what the Bills are going to want to do, which is attack that middle of the field just like the Cowboys did. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and hit subscribe if you're new here. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring this video.